Hello, I'm Jeremy, Service Manager of VIP in West Lebanon, New Hampshire. When a customer comes into VIP, it's an experience starting with walking the customers out to the car, getting all the information, getting feedback from the customer, kind of feeling the customer out on how their driving conditions are, how it may affect their car, or maintenance interval schedules that may be coming up, alerting any safety concerns, just creating that transparency with the customer. To VIP, a certified automotive professional means somebody VIP can rely on to get the job done right the first time, creating a comeback or a lifetime of customers in the future. My favorite part of the job, really seeing a customer genuinely smile when the service that they get done is completed the right way at a fair price. You just earned an automotive customer for life.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning to everybody out there. Jason here with Signature Sports, and a pleasure it is to have you live and in charge. We're back at it with iRacing. If you tuned in last night, you got to see me play a little bit of Sea of Thieves. I was out there trying to grow the gaming community as well as our iRacing community at the same time. But tonight, Chop Shop iRacing League's back in action with the My Three Sons Cup Series, ready to dig at HOTLANTA. Joining the broadcast booth every Friday night, of course, Mr. Joseph Grijalva. Mr. Grijalva, how are you doing today?
Jason, good to be with you again these Friday nights for Chop Shop. I'm doing great. I'm excited. Very hot track, as you mentioned, HOTLANTA. Very known for killing the tires of any car you come in here. So the tire wear is going to be at a premium here. We'll see how these drivers do tonight.
Practice about 60 seconds under the way, 60 seconds away from completing. Right now, Nathan a little fastest in practice. Kyle Gratch close in practice. They're going to have 5 minutes of qualifying. While we have the 5 minutes of qualifying, we'll get some things underway. Talk about some points. Talk about where folks stand. But more importantly, let's talk about some race information. What you're going to be able to watch today. 146 laps for Atlanta. Mar's going to be your race controller out there. Of course, we love seeing the race go smoothly. And HOTLANTA, of course, I call it HOTLANTA for a reason, and you see it right there, the track temperature at 125 degrees Fahrenheit at the moment. It is going to be absolutely insane. 146 laps, they're going to have 100% fuel, 5 sets of tires, and then, of course, the stages at 40, 80, and 146. The Cup Series does not stop for stages, but that big key factor, and I highlighted it right there, you see the little arrow, 100% fuel, on this next generation Cup car over a bumpy track. That is going to settle the rear end in, and it's going to allow that weight to distribute a little bit more, I think a little bit more freely, and I think the rear end's going to step out quite a bit. That's my opinion on this car and how it runs. What do you think, Joe?
Jason, I've seen drivers all through practice yesterday run high lines, low lines, middle lines. From what I could tell watching them in practice, they did the traditional arc running the bottom is where most drivers liked it. Some drivers liked it across the wall, but it killed the tires way too quick. So I'm in agreement with running a traditional line here.
Running the bottom at a 4, running the bottom at a 2, basically getting into the from the high end to the low end of the turn. Of course, this being a quad oval is, or I say quad oval, a normal D-shaped oval, the 1.5 mile surface. It's very bumpy. This is before the updated track that they put out last year, which makes basically makes Atlanta a super speedway. So they're still going to be tough in that regard. Tony Martin, give us a like. Robert Dudley, give us a like. Randy Henshaw, give us a like. Bull Ram, give us a follow. Not only last night on the Twitch channel, but also out there on the Facebook, Bull Ram Gaming. Go check them out. I believe there's some streams out there you can watch for that. Sea of Thieves duo out there giving me some insights just last night. Good to see you. Let's go out there in the chat. Appreciate everybody being out there and being safe. Let's talk about My Three Sons. Of course, our good friend sherylculver is going to be out there in the chat at some point today. I know it's going to be happening. We'll talk to her. Of course, she'll have a ton of fun. But My Three Sons, located in I believe it's the Tacoma, Washington area. I got to make sure I keep my race notes up, because if I pull my race notes, it gets me out of my flow. That's just kind of the way it goes. Let's see. I'm moving it over. Thank you very much. Out of Tacoma, Washington, 818 North Woodworth Avenue. Of course, you can always give Sherry a call. They specialize in antique and vintage rescues and upcycles. It's like recycling, but better. 253-377-3881. Again, that's area code 253-377-3881. That's how you get over. Or you can go to their website, my3-sons.com. And of course, give her a call. SherylCulver, that's SHERYLCULVER at my3-sons.com. There are links in the description on Facebook and YouTube. You can check that out, of course, as always. A ton of fun for that. Admin Boxx, a part of the Chop Shop iRacing leagues over here as well. Admin Boxx with 2x's.com. That's where you can get a nice, phenomenal, basically a button box that controls your admin controls, and you can set up the hotkeys to do what you need to do to be able to manage your races. I recommend them. Track Racer is the best in sim racing rigs out there. It's going to be a ton of fun to be able to see their new 2023 lineup. I know that they've just released a couple of them, but I know they've got first quarter out of the way as far as the releases. I know that the rest of the year is going to be absolutely insane to see what they come up with. So trakracer.com. There's a link in the description that helps out the league of Chop Shop iRacing. You can also go to chopshopiRacing.com. They have all the sponsor links up there for streams and what the drivers are doing. They also have a newsletter that they release. It's always a ton of fun to be able to see what Amara and the crew over there are putting up on the website. So go check out their website. Speaking of which, make sure that you also hit my supporter information down into the race description on Facebook and YouTube as well, because if you do, you're going to see some links to my sponsors. Big special thank you to Rogue Energy, NordVPN, and of course HelloFresh for coming on board with us over here at Signature Esports, and Dark Horizon Fishing sponsoring all of the cautions. Of course, you'll see those segments as they go. I'm seeing some legs there. Always crazy, right? Located at the Pacific Run Antique Mall in at Tacoma, Washington. Good to see you out there, dear. I hope you're having amazing. Michael Strickland giving us a like. Tony Martin giving us a like again. Thank you very much. I appreciate everybody being out there. She's there. There's my 3 sons. Pacific Run Antiques in Tacoma, Washington. That's the booth that she has. Booth number 6. Go check it out. You're having an issue with your website. Oh, GoDaddy. You got a new phone, so you have to prove it. Oh, I got you. Well, make sure that you get that taken care of so folks can get out there and get you taken care of. VIP Tires and Service as well. A big part of not only what we do here at Signature Sports, but also with the Chop Shop iRacing Leagues. Go to VIPauto.com. You'll be able to check out the VIP Tires and Service. But more importantly, there is a link in the description. You can check out the VIP West Lebanon store. You saw the commercial at the beginning of the race, the series. They're a ton of fun. All right. Now that is all out of the way. Mark, giving us a like. Thank you. Appreciate it. How's everybody doing out there? How's everybody's Friday night? That's what I want to know. Mr. Grahalva, thank you for the like.
Always.
Man, that's a lot of speaking at first.
There's a mouthful over there.
And we have to do it every single race, and it's not a bad deal. You know, once you start getting sponsorships and you start getting affiliateships and you start getting all these people that, not just for leagues, but for streaming, once you get all that stuff taken care of, everything starts to play a factor. All right, folks, they're done qualifying. Starting grid for today's race. Nathan Lewell, our French driver, is going to be your pole sitter once again. Michael Strickland is going to be your outside pole sitter. Mr. Dudley, inside row number 2, is going to have Cameron Dario starting on the outside. Hammond and Jason Day are going to make up row number 3. Our Australian, Mr. from actually, he just got a win in the Xfinity Series, or not the Xfinity Series, the Truck Series this past Tuesday at COTA, is going to be right there in that 4th row. Michael Caffrey from Perth, Australia. He's going to have Caleb Modzelewski out there in the outside row number 4. Bryant Rayburn, Ed Perry, Jerry Culver, Mark Reckon making up the next 2 rows.
Behind that row, we got Jonathan Parsons and Stefan Salas side by side, 13th to 14th. Jeremiah Burke and Kyle Gretsch, your guy, behind that row. Towards the back, Nathan Biggert and Chris Roberge. Roberge always charging up the front. We'll see how he does it here at the slick track. Matt Zia, a newcomer, I believe, to Chop Shop. We'll see how he does. Brett Dove next to him. And rounding out the field, Landon Carrick.
Landon Carrick at the very tail end of this field. Landon new driver to iRacing, it looks like. Looks like he's trying to improve himself. Driver's ready to go. We are as well. Thank you to SDK Gaming for being my overlay provider and supporter of what we do over here. Nathan DeLuel driving the Exalta 48, 88 iconic numbers for the NASCAR field. And, of course, the My Three Sons Cup Series giving us all of the action. Cameras set. The cars are ready to go. Let's drive on board with some of these folks as they get ready to rock and roll. A little gyro cam for the day. Speaking of which, there is Jason Dane. That's who we're on board right there. Cockpit view, ready to go. Testing out Culver here. There is sherylculver. It's the helmet cam, I would call it, or pretty close to it. And my favorite mirror cam. That is such an awesome camera. I love it. Amazing. All right, fuel mileage somewhere around the 50 to 55 mark. We've seen that at the mile and a half tracks, but because this track runs the way it does, are they going to try to make it in half and split it in thirds? We watched that out of a few drivers go 50-50 and then finish the race in the last mile and a half track that we were at. What do you think? Is that where they're going to be at?
That's what I got from the drivers, about 60-ish laps, depending on how hard you go. But I'm hearing from them as well, about 20 laps in, the tires are just gone. So we'll see who tries to go all the way. We'll see who pits here coming to the green.
There's the best man in all of iRacing. He's got the biggest pythons. Give it a green flag first of the drivers ready to go. Into the corner they are, 48. 88 outside, 23. Big run. Cam Dario to the back bumper of the 88 early in the quarter, trying to make up some ground, trying to have that progression moving forward. John Hammond being aggressive early, trying to make sure he gets his line, 23 down to the bottom.
We see a battle already for first place. Striker looking on the outside line of the 48. He should get a good drive off here. Maybe a 3 wide. No, thinks twice about it. A little getting the lap lead there.
I thought for sure that Cam might have pushed it down to the bottom. Right now, it does look like Striker's going to work himself up. Striker didn't have the best luck at Atlanta this last week, and I think he's looking to make up for it here.
Yeah, he was having quite a tough race there. It was tough on all of us. Honestly, we went green flag 146 times around. We'll see how we do here as Cam's putting a lot of pressure on the 48, looking inside. Got him side by side at the line.
Back right of the car, wants to step into the race line. That's not exactly what you see. Here's your lap time so far for the drivers on the left side of your screen. Dario does run the faster laps over Nathan Alul as this Cup car looks to get settled in. The difference in right now is Alul tries to save some tires. 31.77's the magic lap so far as they continue to work. Striker drops back to 5th here. That's some notable information. Brian Rayburn back 4 as well. Try to battle back to the outside of Nathan Biggert. Biggert gets to the inside of the 13 of sherylculver, who's going to be on 4 as well.
Good battle here in the back between the 4 and the 5 side by side. Looks like the 4 is going to clear Jerry. Now Robert's trying to fight back next to Culver as well.
Jonathan Parsons driving the old Nickelodeon paint scheme. This is probably still one of my favorites out there. Because I got kids and I can relate to back whenever I was a kid. I mean, there's Hey Arnold on the side, some Rugrats, Wild Thornberries. I mean, why not?
Oh, that's a lot of nostalgia there on that car.
I was probably a teenager. Well, there's Fairly Odd Parents. That's a little bit more modern, I think. I think my oldest watched Fairly Odd Parents. 98 of Chris Robert is already up. So is Kyle Gretsch. Kyle Gretsch driving the old Napa know-how-ish. We're going to call that the ish paint scheme. He's up 7 so far. Roberts is going to be up 4. 98 trying to make some things happen. Brian Rayburn back 6. Landon Carrick sitting in pits right now are going to be out of the race, not getting the race in today. Stefan Salas off 5. Culver's going to be off 7. Some drivers that look like they're trying to save here. Cam Dario, half-second lead, though, as he has to outpace Nathan Alul, who gets faster on the long run. John Hammond to 3rd.
Cam definitely not being one of them, coming across the stripe here, leading the most laps so far. Big gap, about half second over the 48. Everybody single filed and getting in their little groups here, more or less, trying to ride the track. I wouldn't find it too much at this point, honestly. Just ride where you at. We got a long way to go.
7 of 146. Drivers holding on for dear goodness. Here's a look at what the wheels are doing, folks. Go on board with Striker here is off 3. Out of the throttle, pretty much throughout the turn there. It looks like he's got maybe tire saving on his mind here. I'm not quite sure. A little bit into the throttle, kind of feathering here. He's not all the way full throttle until he is on exit. 49 a little free. That's Robert Dudley in front of him.
Striker definitely is babying with the car, with the tires. I did hear him on the radio over here in Discord. He's going to take it easy, just ride where he's at, not push it, let everybody else come to him.
Caffrey working over Jason Day, our Canadian out there, the 5-1. We have 2 Canadians in the field, 1 Frenchman and 1 Australian. Everybody else from the North American region as far as in the United States. Cam still trying to outpace. Right now, 4/10 of a second difference. His lap time's falling just a little bit here as Nathan Alul tries to track him back down. Hammond about the same and equal distance to the bottom side of the racetrack. Top 5, very close, all within a second of each other. Then you've got Caleb Modge here. Modge trying to close into Striker, about 7/10 of a second difference between the 53 and the 88. You see the Grand Valley Chevy Camaro trying to make some things happen here and maybe just a patient drive off.
I agree with that. It looks like everybody more or less is just riding where they're at. Maybe a couple looks here and there, just letting the driver in front of you. I'm still behind you. I'm still here. But just trying to keep the car underneath you. Now we got a battle here. Looks like Caffrey's got Gretsch right under him. Just a clean pass there.
Kyle going up another 177, letting him go. But I think this is just about where you need to be and how you need to be. Jeremiah Burke off the racing surface right now. Trying to find out where he's at. Here's the 73. It looked like he may have clipped the grass for a moment there. Let's take a look here. Driving down.
Like you got a little free.
Yep. Went for a ride. That's all. You only have to worry about the splitter. That's the big thing about these cars. The nose of these cars can, if they take any damage, you're going to see some repairs in your pits.
That was one of my chief complaints with the old CO2 car with the splitter. They touch anything but pavement, and that whole front end's gone. I was not a fan, but I dig this car here.
Battle for the lead. 23, 48, 48 trying to be a little bit more aggressive. John Hammond closing in the distance as well. Cam trying to work on the racing surface here. This is something we saw in the Xfinity race as well. Cam trying to make sure he's able to defend on the outside. 48 did give up the lead pretty easily, but I wouldn't say easy enough to make things any difference. Stefan Salas getting down to pit lane. Striker up near the wall. You saw this, the wall scrape there for the 88. He's got a little right side, right rear going on. As we see the 48 try to pinch the 23 here. 23 not letting him go anywhere. As long as you can run that second groove and run it consistently, it's going to be good. But the 75 able to run on the outside. So is the 49. Everybody trying to pull the 23 back. Yeah, pull the 23 back, but not able to make it work. Hammond's going to let folks go here. Down the throttle, go back and charge back at it. Right now, Cam Dario able to defend on the outside. Modge, what's going on? Good to see you out there as well. Striker letting Hammond go back by.
Getting a lot of chatter here in the driver's channel now. Everybody's driving on ice, and we're seeing it. Everybody's loose off the corners, except our two leaders here still side by side. Cam's doing an amazing job on the outside lane, but It looks like the 48 might get him here going into one.
He's going to try to slide job him here. I think this is the only way that works. 23 way up the race line. He's trying to salvage some of the tires. Bottom of the race exit here does make drivers a little bit more sketch. But now that Cam has allowed now that the 48s ran the bottom of the racetrack for the most part, what does Cam need to do to get back by him? Because Nathan should technically have more tire wear than the 23.
Well, they did battle side by. Oh, there's John's losing the travel in the grass. Looks like he's coming up and hitting the wall.
Oh,
that's going to be a yellow. It looks like Day hit him, I think.
Man, oh man. Caution comes out first time. And the tires on the old Atlanta. And I tell you what, old Atlanta has never seen this car. So it's interesting to see these guys do it. First caution happens. John, one of the admins for the Chop Shop iRacing series, and I tell you what, he doesn't get to race as often as he'd like because of his work schedule, but this is one of these, just a little free. He got into the wake of the 49. As soon as he got up there, that car went free, and then he's trying to keep it straight, trying to get himself around, and then Jason Day with nowhere to go, having to basically see this in front of him. He's trying to stay high. He sees what's happening in front of him. Let's back this up just a moment. Sees the freeness. Sees him come across the racetrack. Tries to brake tread. No bueno.
Jason, you brought up a great point about getting just behind the car in front of them and it getting them loose. That's what I just heard in the drivers' channels. They're having a hard time following the cars in front of them. It's disturbing their car a lot, so it's going to come into play as well.
Let's go inside the cockpit view here. We're getting into 3. Down to the bottom side. He's not free. He's good. He's good. He's good. He's good. Goes up. Gets into the gas. Yeah, and right there, that wake loosens him up. He has to get back into the throttle. And then, round he goes.
To caveat off another point you brought up, you said the car's never been here. It'll never be on this type of track. As we all know, it's got reef paved. But we know this car, the next gen, has a right rear issue. That tire tends to wear out more often around the tracks we run. And this track already kills the tires. So it's something the drivers got to think about, in my opinion.
Dark Horizon Fishing giving you your first caution of the day. Nathan Lule in the lead right now. Brian Rayburn coming up pit road. He came in to get himself some extra love, maybe a little fuel. Stefan Salas coming in. He is taking a regular pit stop. Jason Day came in and took some nose damage. Looks okay. Doesn't look near as dinged up as I would thought. Hammond's going to go a lap or so down. He took some heavy right side damage. Sherylculver out of the race. Looks like he had to park it. No bueno.
I'm hearing Jerry had a crash problem. So his whole sim shut down on him, it looks like.
Cam's going to be able to be aggressive on the restart here. Back to double file. As the pace car will lead him back around. iRacing.com for your next subscription. And to get yourself out here with I tell you what, if you want to start your sim racing career, I encourage you to use iRacing because it does have a ton. 48, choosing the outside lane. Switching lanes now, I thought you had to make the choice before one to go.
I don't quite remember the rule. I think that's the case. I'm not seeing anything from race control at the moment. Maybe it'll be a warning if anything, but it looks like we're okay for right now.
Oh, dang it. Hopefully, they make sure they know that 48 on the outside, 23 is going to be on the inside. Pace car's in. Full send. Green flag.
big jump by the 48 there. Great gap heading into one.
I tell you what, Cam, if he had that outside restart, this would have been a lot closer of a restart as we go back to green flag racing. And right now, the 48 utilizing kind of an advantage in that situation. Cam would have had a better time of checking himself back up if that hadn't happened. That's the reason why I like, if the leagues are going to use the Chewels rule, make sure that on that 2 to go mark, you're making the choice. If you're doing it down the back straightaway, you've just disrupted the entire setup of what folks are doing. My opinion, I have them. I've been calling. This is probably, I think this is somewhere around my 1500th or 1600th race I've called over the course of almost 3 years. It's a ton of advantage moving forward, but still just one of those things. Biggest mover of the race is going to be Kyle Gretsch. He's going to be in 4th here. Nathan Biggert is going to be up 11, so the 19 on the move.
Gretsch hard charging, not one of those to save tires. It looks like he's set his sights for 3rd. That's Michael Strickland there. We'll see if he can catch him. But I'm curious about Nathan Alul and Cam. Cam led good amount of the laps there. Last stint we ran, we saw the 48 let him by. It looks like the 48 saved more tires than most of the field here as he's starting to pull away in 2nd place.
Which is insane to think because he ran harder trying to pass Cam Dario for about 3 or 4 laps. And so the tire wear not showing up here. I don't know, the Frenchman half-second showing. Cam didn't really run that fast. He ran the fastest lap of the race, but after that he tied himself over. And now Stryker going around, and I think Cam's just running the high side. I knew last week when we ran at Atlanta, and I believe it was the Xfinity car, he said he just didn't feel comfortable on the bottom side, so he ran the entire race in the high line and found himself doing that. But now we're seeing him try to push the boundaries on the inside.
If I was one of the drivers right now, I'd be taking notes. Leading early, pushing hard, maybe not so good on the tires because we see the 48 starting to gap the 3rd place car, which is Cam Stryker moving into 2nd. We'll see if he's got something for a goal right now.
Cam Dario right behind Stryker here is the Chop Shop iRacing Cup Series brought to you by My 3 Sons, giving you a good look. Now, right now, Kyle Gretsch is 1.3 back in closing. Not about to give up any of the race pace. He's running where he needs to. He's running the race line that he needs to. And I don't think there's any car out here that you see is kind of doing his business, kind of doing what he needs to, knowing that they're going to get the stage break on lap 40, but they're not going to come to pit road until around lap 50, 55.
Well, we only got 5 sets of tires here on the wall, or I believe total, I apologize. And about
4 on
laps,
the wall, yeah.
4 on the wall. We got about lap 17 when we started seeing cars slide around. So I would save as much as I can, even right in the back, and save all those sets for the end of the race.
Well, Jason Day is going to have about a 20-lap difference on his pit cycle, so we should see him coming around lap 70 to 75. Maybe. We'll see if he's going to be able to do so because Jason Day took tires, got the car worked on, and right now the 51 is moving forward. He's running about a half-second faster than everybody, and he's inside the top 10 already after that caution with John Hamlin.
Did mention in the driver's comms here, he had a bit of a wheel issue, maybe just a mental thing, but it's looking good for him. It seems he's got all his damage fixed, doesn't look bad.
If he's got some kind of driver issue, like you were talking about, maybe it's not showing up right now, but maybe he uses this advantage right now prior to the stage to keep himself in contention. He's got the speed to drive on the bottom side here. His last lap is 33.93, so just a little bit more shyer than Nathan Alul. We'll see if he's going to be able to do so. We're about 10 laps to go. 11 laps to go this next time by before the end of the stage. Nathan Alul out front, being tracked down by Michael Strickland. Strickland utilizing the high line here. Still a little right side issue going on right there. I think he's got a little bit of a right front toe issue going on right now, but I think that is just because he's trying to save enough to get himself to the back bumper. Kyle Gretsch the third and is hard charging his way forward from 1.34 laps ago. Finds himself under a second to go for the number 27.
Kyle Gretsch, hard moving. I don't know what he's doing. He's driving very hard since the start of the green flag, and he's making it work. But I'm noticing a lot of the drivers starting to move up the track now, middle lane, even high lane, and they're able to hold on to it even more. So it looks like this track state is favoring an upper line groove tonight.
19 to the inside of the 23. Cam Dario going to the bottom. Nathan up 13 as well. He and Kyle Gretsch they've been stampeding their way forward. Their lap times about 10th or 2 better than the race leaders. Jason Day to 6th already. His last lap was the second faster than the race leader. And that's what new tires can do. If you can get yourself into the draft, get yourself working forward with the different advantage, he's going to be able to add some time here. He's got, and these drivers, you say we know lap 40 is going to be into the stage, but that's not the end of the race. They're not going to stop for the stage, and because they're not going to stop for the stage, Jason Day is going to be able to run a few more laps here with some tires, and be able to put some advantage. So the advantage, I think, in the long run with a 30-lap run goes to Jason Day.
I gotta agree with you 100%. He made a smart call. He recognized the situation, and he's running it down here, trying to get by everybody, but also being patient. We'll see if he can get past the 48. I think he'll get him, but what we want to see is how big of a gap he can put on the field when he gets there.
Nathan Alul here. 4/10 of a second lead to striker Jason Day, working Ed Perry down on the infield here. Saw him falling just a little bit. It's going to come back up the race line. Hopefully his car is going to be all right. Nathan Alul still being tracked down. Jason Day up to 3rd already to the bottom side, getting himself around the 19. Kyle Gretsch in that 5 spot, still holding on decently. Nathan Bigger in the 19, who's kind of tied himself over. He's been the aggressor in some situations, but today a lot more patience. I know he's aggressively trying to move himself forward, but not in an aggressive race line. Just try to be where he needs to be. Jason Day closing the distance down to the race leader, trying to take over the stage here, and there'll be about 5 laps to go before the end of the stage this next time by.
Well, he's made me a fan. I'm going to be rooting for that 51 car throughout the race now. We'll see what he does with this strategy here. I think he's going to get the stage win, but hopefully we'll see if he can get a pretty good gap. So when pit stops come, won't hurt him too much. Then we'll be all more or less in an equal playing field.
51 to the bottom side. Going to be able to outpace the 48. He passed him like he was standing still. And Day has his car set up to run. He's going to slide up in front of the 48, drops into the corner. 48 will look to fall backwards. And I tell you what, if you ever wanted to feel disheartened to get a stage win, watch the 48, watch the 51, and watch what he's going to be trying to do here. Now, Biggert's taking over 3rd back here. Somehow, some way, holding enough tire to get himself around the 88, and he's looking to try to make some pace. But Nathan Alul, watching that lap time just kind of steadily increase for the time being.
It looks like the 51's starting to get its groove on. We'll see if he moves up to the top of the track. I'm curious what he's going to do, charging up to the front. I'm seeing everybody else run that middle high line now. Not many cars touching the bottom lane, but when they do, it's very free, so I don't expect too much more of that often. As we look at Cam here, looking at Gretsch, see if he's going to try and get around him.
Kyle dropping back. 27 runs the mid lane. Ooh, look how free the 27 got with that air just being pulled off of the left rear of his quarter panel there. The 23. I mean, that's something to keep in mind as well. If you can free up one of these cars, you're gonna see some big things happening.
See the 23 dive low, underneath the 27. They're side by side off the corner. Gretsch a little loose off the high lane, but you see the car's a little more stable there. The 23 got loose as well. A lot more free coming off the corner. I believe the high line's the way to go here. Cam still looking on the inside of the 27.
Side by side racing, 23-27. The battle for fifth looking as such. Still a big mover right now for the 27. So opportunity starting to present itself. 2 to go here before the end of stage 1. 1.4 second gap in the course of 2 laps for Jason Day.
Still side by side, the 23 and the 27 very tight off the corner. 27 gets a good run off the high line. Cam now falling back behind in line with the 27 of Gretsch running the middle line.
I think if Cam's going to make a move here, he's going to have to work himself. So 27 a little free right there. As soon as the 23 got behind him, the 27 frees up. Now the 23 makes the pass on the outside. This is your white flag lap for the stage. Jason Day, a full 2-second lead now as Nathan Alul looks to try to hold on to his race pace. And I tell you what, since the 19 got right behind Nathan Alul, I've watched that lap time just drop. Full send kind of day.
Another look here by Biggert next to the 48 side by side. I'm seeing, I'm hard to believe he's going to make the pass on the inside. Looks like the 48 let him go though, going into the corner.
Stage goes to Jason Day, Nathan Alul, and Nathan Biggert. So that'll be your top 3. Jason Day get the stage win here. Again, stages aren't like NASCAR. They are going to continue to run green flag laps until the volume. They're going to get green flag pit stops here in just a moment, folks. We're going to take a hydrate break. While we do, make sure that you stick around. Much love. We'll be back in a moment.
Hello, I'm Jeremy, Service Manager of VIP in West Lebanon, New Hampshire. When a customer comes into VIP, it's an experience starting with walking the customers out to the car, getting all the information, getting feedback from the customer, kind of feeling the customer out on how their driving conditions are, how it may affect their car, or maintenance interval schedules that may be coming up, alerting any safety concerns, just creating that transparency with the customer. To VIP, a certified automotive professional means somebody VIP can rely on to get the job done right the first time, creating a comeback or a lifetime of customers in the future. My favorite part of the job, really seeing a customer genuinely smile when the service that they get done is completed the right way at a fair price. You just earned an automotive customer for life.
All right, second caution. I was muted there for a moment. We were doing the hydrate break and a caution comes out. You you never can plan the timing of these. Let's take a look at the far chase view. The 69 of Matt Z here. Up the race line. Right behind him is the 77 of Michael Caffrey. Caffrey in the tow zone. Gets real close here to the 69. Watch, I think the car steps out. Yeah, look at that error. The arrow push. And the 69 just gets free. Let's go back here just a moment. And he just goes around. Little nose damage. And actually, that is the left side nose. So that's going to make that steering just a little bit more aggressive. Arrow push. Crazy.
Been talking about it since the drop of the green flag. I'm hearing the drivers talk about it. It's going to come into play. Got to take those mental notes and recognize how the car is driving. But a quick note I want to bring up for the pit entries. It looks like the 88 hit the cone on pit entry, and he's going to catch an EOL for that.
Ouch. Cannot hit the cone, folks. Cannot hit the cone. You want to?
Just
Do you want to know
never
what?
slightly.
I was going to say. Do you know what a disappointment looks like? Let's find the. Let's find his entrance. Here it is. We're gonna back it up here. Oh, he did. He just barely.
so slightly, the slightest touch. Unfortunate.
Here it is. Unsafe pit entry. Because of this, right? Oh. Didn't move on my screen. But he did run over it. He did run over it. Let's see. Here it is. Yeah, right there he did. He technically hit it.
That's about the softest hit I've ever seen someone hit that cone and catch a penalty, but he's technically outside the boundary. That's how it goes sometimes.
That's crazy. I mean, we did see his right rear. He was in the grass.
Ran over the base of the cone.
Yeah. Never seen that. Normally you have to smack it. That or the green one at the tail end. Nathan Alul is going to be your race leader. Jason Day staying in, getting some of that. I think he came in twice. He came out in 44 as well, so maybe he did have some damage here. He was your race leader. We'll see if he's going to be able to hard charge to the front. Nathan Alul, Cam Dario, 1-2. Nathan Biggert's going to be in third here. I'm curious to see what Biggert and company are going to be able to do. Stage is going to end on lap 80 for the second stage. So the stage points kind of working to the advantage. Speaking of points, in the middle of your screen, Nathan Alul with 2 wins in the Cup Series. And Nick Casey has a win. Cam Dario has a win. Biggert has a win. Jason Day has a win. So they've all secured their way in. So 5 different drivers with wins here, similar to the Cup Series, or similar to the Xfinity Series, looking for that 6th different driver to get a win. Love to see Stryker get a win. He's got some stage wins and got some extra cash, but tell you what, he's not being able to do that. If you want a chance to win some money, well, you got to join the league, you got to join the series and get with these guys and find yourself in a positive race line, positive situation moving forward. You got to win some stages, got to win some races, and you can win some of Stryker's money. That's pretty much how we look at this.
Hit it. Green flag bit. Great jump by the 48. Huge jump. Taking off everybody else, single filing out from first to fourth, side by side for fifth.
I wonder if Cam has said, you know what, I'm not going to push as hard right now. Let me take it easy.
I would take notes from that first 2 stints, recognizing the aero push that's been going on. Just get my nose, keep it there right behind him. Make them work for it. Make them battle that car. Make them slide it. Make them burn it off more. Just keep the pressure on.
The world's friendliest Canadian, the 98, Chris Robert's already in 5th. Mark Redkin's going to be right there in the Le Mans 76, driving a throwback to the Le Mans Corvette. The 76 Corvette, of course, do like that. He's pushing some batteries here.
See him shoot out to the outside, making the pass. A great looking car by AMR Paint Works. He does some of our paints here. Awesome work. We'll see how Rodigan does here, chasing down the car ahead, the 98 of Roberts.
Modge, how about Nathan Alul, 31.72, fastest lapper of the race. He's burning his tires a little earlier here.
Looks like the good thing about him is he doesn't have to contend with the car. He's just driving the car hard, really sending it into the corners, running the line. Traditional arc, as I mentioned earlier, high, low, bottom to center. Bend, half lane off the white line, drifting up to the top against the wall. Very, very good line. But we see Gretsch right behind him in the 27. He made the pass here on Ed Perry, sending it again. Pushing hard, chasing down for the car ahead.
I'm a big fan of Kyle. We all know this. I give him a little hard time every once in a while, but he's got some right front damage.
Maybe a little wall tap or
maybe some
here,
net code, because I don't think I've seen him get into anybody, and that's what's crazy about that. And he doesn't have any. He doesn't have a scrape down the side, so the wall hasn't put any pressure on that. But he does have some right front damage. Maybe some net code. Maybe getting close to that draftability sector or that side sector. You can definitely see the where the headlight is, or where the sticker headlight is definitely showing some different race, different ground there. Ground over, looks like it might be disrupting. Hey, you know what? Could make it drive better. Who knows?
Doesn't seem to be affecting him. He gets around mods here and very easily. Mods taking it easy now, it looks like, but we see Kyle running the middle-ish lane.
I think Kyle's going to run traditionally. He's going to run as hard as he can, and you know, when it comes down to the final pit stop, which will come somewhere around, I think the driver's going to get themselves to lap 100. They're going to have to try to get to lap 100, or somewhere in between all that, because if they can make it 60 laps, somewhere around 55 to 60 laps, I'm not pushing it to 60 laps. I'm pushing it to 50, 56, 57. We went back to green flag racing up 48. So that, or I'm sorry, 46. Let me correct myself there. We went back to green flag racing at 46, which means that we're going to see at least 54 laps. That's really pushing it. 54 laps to lap 100. Somebody's going to come in early. But is that extra 4 laps going to be enough? You know what I mean?
I'm curious to see what Dave's going to do here. As he's down a set. I heard him say he's only got 2 sets left. He did come in and switch tires in the last yellow.
Which is smart, because if not, he's just going to have to. He's going to have to do. I think they only need 2 sets for this race. Honestly, if I'm looking at it, so even so, if he's got 2 sets left, he's going to have another set to be able to be competitive if there's a late race caution.
The big deal is towards the end, people are going to be pushing hard. We're going to get out of that comfort zone, not give room as much. And I think we'll see a little more yellows towards the end of the race. We'll see how it plays out for him.
Look at everybody out there. How is everybody doing? Chats are quiet tonight. It's Friday night. Is this barbecue night for everybody, and you just got us up on the tubes? Mr. Danger, thank you for the share and the like, brother. Appreciate you. Folks, we are live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. If you haven't done so, make sure that you reach up, hit the like, follow, or subscribe button. Hey, we're close to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's been a milestone forever.
You're about 4 off, I think. Lots of sharing, so. We can get it there.
I think so. I mean, I don't promote the YouTube channel. I've been let 997 followers. We need 3 more followers on YouTube. Tres más. How far away are we on Twitch? I haven't looked at that. Hold on. Now you've got me guessing. I know they have 18,832 followers on Facebook. That's awesome. That's, of course, been the platform that everybody's been digging. We have 758 followers on Twitch, so we're getting closer there. So thank you so much to everybody being out there.
Jason, I was watching this battle for the lead here for a minute. The 23 of Cameron Dario, he was following the 48 very close, right on his bumper. 48's looking like he's dropping back a bit on his tire wear, or he's saving it. We saw 23 complete the pass on the outside. Now Chris Robert is following in third.
Chris, your biggest mover, up 15. He is right behind Nathan O'Loole. Now, Cam was patient there. His lap times didn't get above. He did not approach that 31.7 mark on that last little run. He ran about a 31.9, and a 32 flat for a little while. And now Cam can pretty much just be where he needs to be. Nathan O'Loole actually ran harder on his lap times. Here's a look at the last 5 lap times for Nathan O'Loole. 32.56, 32.8. Look at the fall off there. He has fallen off half a second, if not 7/10 of a second, since lap 54 to lap 58. Now he's in tow.
We're seeing the flip side, the reverse story of this stint here. Looks whereas the 48 is leading and the 23 trailing. It looks like if you're in front, maybe subconsciously you're pushing harder, even though you think you're not. But I am seeing the 23 just ever so slightly pull away from the 48.
He's ran consistent 32 nines and 33 second laps over the last 5 laps. So that right there goes to show that Cam is just trying to be consistent. His lap times are only separated by 5/100ths of a second. We'll see what he runs this time, as he pulls about half second out in front of Nathan Alul. His lap time 33.29. Nathan Alul 33.37. And Robert's ever so slightly better.
Just another mental note to put in your toolbox for later in the race. If you're leading up front, I don't know, like I said, I don't know if it's subconsciously, maybe you are burning it off more, but maybe second place is where you want to be.
Arliss Dudley giving us a like and a share. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I think OBS has an update because it keeps telling me my encoder settings are different, and they are not. We're getting little skips from OBS. So we're going to have to figure that out.
Roberts just threw a block on Robert Dudley going into turn 1 that last lap. I don't know if it was a block or not. That's what it looked like to me. Maybe he was trying to make the entry, but the 49's putting a lot of pressure here.
Nathan Biggert up 12 as well, trying to work himself up front. We're about 17 laps to go before the end of the stage. Kyle Gretsch off the race surface. Where'd he go? I think he went for a right out of 4. He's got some right, but more right front damage. Here's a look. I think he comes out of the corner, gets a little. I think his right side damage is literally maybe from the wall again, but watch the net code. Nah, he's just free. Just free out of 4. Good save.
We saw him trying to get the drive off the lone line. We're about that lap mark where the car won't push off or drive off the bottom of the corner. I'm starting to see everybody move up the track again.
Well, we are past the 20 lap mark on the tires when it comes to how they had to come to pit road and get back out. About 18 laps when it comes to full drivability. Cam Dario still a half second difference. His lap time's just as consistent as before. Nathan Alul ran the same exact lap time as last time by, maybe separated by a little bit. Cam Dario just trying to hold on. The top 2 pulling a gap over Nathan Biggert, Robert Dudley, and Chris Roberts. Roberts back to the inside, trying to run the bottom line again. 49 back to the high side as Robert Dudley tries to make something happen. Jeremiah Burke up a few more spots. 73 doing a great job. We don't get to talk about him a lot, but when we do, it's usually good things. Mr. Burke up 8 is Redkin up 6 in 6th. And Jason Day holding on to the top 10 right in front of him. Maj in the 53, trying to go to the inside of Ed Perry. Ed Perry very fast at Atlanta. We've seen him do that, but he is up near the wall. Ed Perry trying to hold on.
That's where I would be, in the high lane. Just like the Xfinity race, I couldn't run the car on the bottom. I'd be glued to that high lane, scraping it, everything banging it. I would not come up off the wall.
Good folks out there watching. Folks, I encourage you to chat. I encourage you to put your messages out there. Cheer on your drivers. I want to hear what you do. Nathan Alul still holding that half-second difference. Now we might be seeing maybe Cam feeling out how much time he has to save over Nathan Alul as well. That's something to be thinking about here. How much time, if there's another restart and everybody gets back on a level playing field. Stefan Salas off the race surface here. It was the Jerry Culver, almost got creamed there. Here's a look. 31, free off turn 4. I think everybody is finding that same zone. So almost hits the green cone. Almost hits Jerry Culver, who's coming off pit road. And the 31 getting back around. So Jerry out there just completing laps, trying to make sure he doesn't lose anything out of as far as terms go. He is actually completing. He's 2 laps down now. So he's 2 laps down from Stryker. He's got a better car, so he came in, took tires for his first lap. That would be his lap 63, or the race lap 63. So he's going to be a little faster than everybody, but a chance for him to make up some race pace. He's about 3 laps down total. So he's 2 laps away from Stryker. would be your lucky dog if a caution were to come out. There is the 88 trying to dig out of the turn 2. Onto the back straightaway, 69 of 146, 11 laps to go before the end of the stage. Cam way up the race line.
We're seeing him slide up there against the wall. Nice job keeping it off, getting a run off the corner. I'm looking at the lap times again, and it looks like the 48 starting to slightly catch up just bit by bit. I don't know if Cam's just trying to manage a bit of a gap. No need to push it there. But he's getting ever so slightly closer here as we're seeing both the cars now starting to run middle to top lanes.
Cam Dario lost 0.2 of a second, or almost 0.2 of a second on lap 64. They ran the exact same lap time on 69. They ran at under the wall. Cam just trying to run the wall here. I think that's what he's doing. He just got a little bit too close. 16/10 of a second. Now Nathan Alul maybe trying to track down some of that race time now. I think Cam is just trying to figure out how close he can run to the wall.
The biggest thing is the car's a lot more stable up there. It'll get free, but you can catch it a lot easier than the bottom. The cons I'm seeing here is you're losing a lot of time against the wall there versus the middle to bottom of the track.
I think that's exactly what's happened. The 23 is going to let the 48 go by, but the 23 is going to be able to battle back here. I think the 23 is still faster. I think Nathan is going to have the drive line here because the 23, yeah, I mean, the 23 has to get out of the gas and it checks the car up. Huge runs on the back straightaway, but Nathan Alul is going to be able to extend here. Quarter second, we'll see what Cam does to be able to battle back. I think some right side damage may be happening with that car.
Just that weight transfer, you got to lift suddenly, all the weight goes to the front of the car. All the weight's lifting off the back of the car, so that rear ends those tires are already slick, it's already gone, it's going to get a little free. Everybody, for the most part, scattered across the racetrack in their own little groups here. Cam's still keeping up with the 48, though.
Nathan Alul running a 34.28 last time by, and a 34.29 to follow that up. Cam Dario 34.44, Nathan Biggert 34.44, 2 seconds off the pace, trying to close in. I think Nathan is just going to run the line that the car presents itself. He's in third here. Dudley's going to be in fourth. Robert's back to fifth. His lap time better than the race leader last time by.
And I'm a big fan of Chris Robert. He's almost like me. I'm not great at qualifying. I start in the back most often, but just very methodical, very careful coming up through the field. And we see him do it every race, every Friday night. He's making his way towards the front, and he's getting there.
Cam changed his race line out of 4, and he got free. He just lost a full second to Nathan Alul in the course of one turn.
Just trying to find some speed somewhere, searching around the track. As I mentioned earlier, we're seeing a lot of the cars run middle to top. That bottom line, it's very sketchy. You can hang it on there, you'll be fast, but it might not work out for you, as we did see Cam get loose off the corner and lose some time.
It'll be 5 laps to go before the end of the stage, folks. Nathan Alul will probably just have this stage. He's got nobody pressuring him right now. Cam giving himself a little bit extra race pace. I think Cam had the race line figured out. Nathan Alul did not save. His tires should be more burnt up than what they are. And seeing how other drivers who have been saving and being less aggressive, to see what he's trying to accomplish here, he should be far more fetched than that. But hey, it is what it is.
I'm very impressed with how he's managing his car. I haven't been watching him a lot. I might keep a closer eye on him, how he's handling the car, see if it's not sliding a lot, see if he's not pushing up the corners. All these little bits, turn by turn, just ever so slight tire screech, that all adds up. It could be just tire heat. Tires might be a little cooler than everybody else's, but he's doing a great job.
Nathan Biggert. It's all about the numbers, folks. To me, it's about the numbers. And I watch numbers very, very closely. I have to watch numbers because, I'm an ambassador for eSport here, quote unquote. I'm not going to call myself the ambassador, but I am representing an esport here that we want to be able to call fast and fair races. We watch numbers, and that's the only reason why I say, sometimes the simulator doesn't make sense. Sometimes it makes sense based on the numbers for splits, but it doesn't make sense sometimes whenever you have league races and you have the extra look and the extra, I wouldn't call it advantage or disadvantage, but I'd say that sometimes iRating, as much as we call it just a number, sometimes that number makes a difference in situations. That makes sense. I'm trying not to say that there's a favoritism aspect of numbers. Try not to say it. Cam to pit road. 2 laps for the end of the stage. So is Jeremiah Burke.
Wow, I'm cheering from the driver's cam. It looks like Cam a little too hot on pit road, and he's going to get caught speeding.
Man. Gonna have to serve it, too.
That's going to take him down a lap, I believe. That's unfortunate. It's these long races. It's a mental game sometimes. You just got to be aware. This entry is very hard. I was watching the 31 come in earlier. Lost it coming in off the banking. It's very flat in the apron. A lot going on.
Completing lap 80 now for the end of the stage. Nathan Biggert has pulled a second out of the last couple of laps, and Nathan O'Loole having to think about his entry here. In a stage coming up as soon as they cross the start-finish line. Stages are always at the end, but Nathan Biggert, he's catching Nathan O'Loole here, and I think has saved enough that over the next couple of laps that he might be able to make a pass here. There's the end of your stage. Nathan O'Loole is going to get a stage win, so we see Jason Day and Nathan O'Loole splitting the stages today. And Dudley forgot where his gas pedal is located, said Arliss. Nah, he's got it. He's in third. It's a tough racetrack. It's bumpy. It's hot. It's made of bad concrete.
I love it. One of my favorite racetracks is Old Atlanta.
And it has holes in it everywhere. This is like driving down the back streets of an old town that never fixes their roads. That's why they made it a super speedway, which I can't stand.
No, I'm not a big fan of it. We got enough plate racing with Dayton and Daytona. I don't like to ride around in a circle. Old Atlanta was one of my favorite tracks, and I'm glad we can save it in a sim like this to watch everybody race. But I'm watching Biggert here. He's able to keep his car on the bottom, still doing the traditional, like, against the white line, maybe a half lane up, and he's getting a good drive off. So he's done a great job. He was saving his tires. I'm not sure if he hit it prior to the cautions lap before.
He's on the same level playing. We had a caution. The last time that these drivers came to pit road, it was 43, and they're on the same pit cycle. If it wasn't for the fact he had 5 seconds of damage that he got repaired, he would probably be right up there with Nathan O'Loole already, if not past him.
We're watching him right now. He's just against the white line, and he's able to hang on to it and get the power off so that Atlanta, in every oval, really, the bottom line's the shortest way around. So if you can run it and keep it planted on the ground, point it forward, we see him in the middle lane 1 and 2, right behind the 48. So we're getting ever so slightly closer. We got to keep in mind of that aero push we've been seeing all night, but Biggert's definitely catching him.
Nathan O'Loole may have to try to defend here. And I don't know why OBS's encoder is giving me warning. So, folks, if you see little glitches in the stream, that is OBS telling me, hey, you need to do this. Drivers coming to pit road for the final time. Some of them are going to come in, I think, too early.
We got about 62 laps to go. It's definitely going to be pushing it to the end. We mentioned earlier about 60-ish laps on a fuel tanks. So maybe taking care of the tires, saving a little bit, will get you to the end.
I don't know. That's a lot of out of the throttle.
Looks like the 48 starting to pull on Biggert a little bit now.
I think the dirty air is just making it uncomfortable for the 19. He can't run the line, and Nathan is trying to take that line away. And plus, he's got lap down car to the high side. Stefan Salas trying to go around in 19th. Ooh,
31 being. Looks like he's just being very respectful, not forcing the issue, trying to slingshot it around, backing off for the 19.
He got well, that's actually hurting the 19. If the closer he gets, the more air he pulls off of the 19 to be able to make the runs that he needs. So he either needs to make the pass and commit to the pass, or try to get himself back around. That's something that if you're out there racing, folks, if you get closer to that driver in front of you, especially on these older tires and these next generation cup cars, you're going to pull that car back to you. So if you've got a driver in front of you trying to battle a position, make the pass if you can make the pass. Don't sit there and try to hold him back.
And it's something we talked about earlier in the night. The airflow, the car up against each other is going to make the car head free. It's going to make you free. I would come up on the radio and tell him to go by.
See, Cam Dario here is going to be multiple laps down because of the pit road speeding penalty. He had to come in. He served a 41-second penalty, but went ahead and took tires and fuel. He's going to be trying to make it work. He's behind Brian Rayburn. Just got one of his laps back. And now the PO teenager ready to rock and roll. Opportunities here. He's going to have to work himself around to become the lucky dog. Right now, Jeremiah Burke is the first driver one lap down in the 73, but he came to pit road on 78, so he is going to be able to drive around, get his lap back. Nathan Biggert in second here, trying to track down Nathan Alul. Dudley in third, but Roberge 8.2 back, trying to battle back here.
A lot of lap down cars here, cars that pitted. They're going by the leaders now. Looking at Burke here, right behind the 19s, going around him. There's a lot of traffic to contend with. Just got to be very careful, very patient. If I was the 19th, you're in striking distance. Just keep them looking in the mirror. Let them know you're still there.
I think if I'm Alul and Nathan Biggert, I'm coming in the next 3 laps. It puts me solidly with 50 laps. That's going to give me an equal stint. That'll put me 53 laps. So I've ran 53 laps. I don't know. Maybe come in on 96. That'll give you an even 50 to take to the end. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We're getting down to the end.
Looks like the 48's having some trouble there with Rayburn ahead. See him sliding up a bit, looking on the outside now. Letting Biggert get ever so slightly closer again.
Dirty air over the top of the wash. There's a 74. And the 74 has a right to defend his position. That's something that, folks, you always hear about this in iRacing. Lap car move low, lap car move high. Get out of my way, lap car. Well, that lap car does not have to. That lap car can defend his position and say, hey, I'm running my race line. It's your job to pass me.
Absolutely. That's more of a road racing deal when you're getting lapped. I know that craft is to let them by, but stock car oval racing, if you're trying to stay on the lead lap, you have every right to defend as hard as you can. Just don't wreck the leader. But and I know this is where we disagree. If you're more than one lap down, you got to let them by, in my opinion.
I'm defending I'm running my race line where I run my race line. I think that if you're more than a lap down, of course, there is driver etiquette that says maybe you should move by if you're damaged. But if I'm a car that is clean and competitive and I am 2 laps down, I'm going to fight you just like I'm 1 lap down. I'm going to fight you just like you're trying to take that position away from me, because technically he is. That's my opinion. Now, if you've got damage, by all means, if you feel the necessity, but the thing is that you need to be predictable. That is the ultimate thing in a racing simulator, is to be predictable, because the moment that you change lanes in front of the leader very quickly is the moment that you make a mistake and you put folks in jeopardy of having a caution where you shouldn't have been in that spot to begin with. So always be predictable. If you're going to run the same race line and to make that leader try to get around you, then by all means run that race line. I run opens more than I run fixed setups, and that's where I've learned to be respectful in that nature. In an open format race where you are able to adjust your setups and get yourself a little bit more speed, figure out what you're doing wrong, similar to what they do in actual NASCAR and what they do there. That's where we find our. That's why I differ in opinion when it comes to what you should be doing on a racetrack.
You said the keyword predictability.
Yep. Be predictable. If you're a lap down vehicle, if you know that driver's going to be doing it, then do it. But if you start pulling away from that driver in front of you, then you're doing something right, and you need to keep going. Right now, Nathan Alul cannot get himself around Brian Rayburn, who has run a predictable race line.
Doing a great job. I'm seeing a close battle here.
Little free, and now he's free. So what does he do?
Oh, good job keeping it down.
Doing what he needed to do. Joshua Brock, Mr. Brock, appreciate you, sir. Now a little clean air for the 48. Nathan was working on trying to catch him there. Now Rayburn's a lap down, out of the conversation for the time being, but he still has to come to pit road. And he's not far off of the race pace to be able to keep that happening. He was keeping pace with the race leader. He just needs a lap difference here.
I'm seeing a close battle as well for third place. Gretsch and Dudley here, 49, running side by side. It looks like off the corner. Gretsch in the wall.
Oh, really into the wall now.
49 by now. Maybe Day right behind him as well.
Kyle Gretsch got himself around. Nathan Alul to pit road. Nathan Biggert into pit road. Dudley. I think Nathan Biggert better on the long run. He's going to close down some distance here to Nathan Alul, though, as they get on pit road. Kind of want to see who's going to win this race off pit lane here. We may just stick down here. Rayburn already on pit lane as well. Sorry, that's not Rayburn. That was Dudley back here. Nathan Biggert. Dudley on pit lane as well. So Nathan Biggert in his pit stall here. Getting tires and fuel. 48. As long as Biggert doesn't speed, he's going to come out right behind the 48. A great job by both of those drivers.
That first pit stall is going to come into play for the 48. Look at the gap he's already getting in the apron. Just that little bit of time outside of pit road before Biggert is going to gain him a lot of time on the track. So qualifying definitely key as well.
Jason Day, your race leader, around Roberge. Day still just as fast here. Opportunities. He's pitting this time by.
Looks like he's pitting this time by.
Roberge likes to come it alone. The two Canadians side by side. Roberge is going to lead here. Kyle Gretsch coming out of pit lane right now. Got to keep careful with those tires on the bottom of the racetrack. This isn't like NASCAR. You have to reassume where the pit road exit is going to be. Right there, the blue line.
Wow, they just missed the cone. Unlike Striker, we saw him run over the base. They was just like maybe an inch off the base of the cone. That's just a crazy pit entrance.
And did he get a penalty?
I'm not hearing he did. So it looks like he's okay for what I see. But wow, he was just as close as Striker, but he didn't touch the cone at all. And I think that's what the key was.
I didn't even see Striker touch the cone. He touched the grass. He did touch the grass. So. That's crazy. That's crazy. Robert's an 11-second lead almost. Jeremiah Burke came in on 78. His last lap time, 0.3 of a second faster than Roberge. Mark Retkin came in on lap 90, and we're seeing right behind him, lap down traffic, Brad Dove, one of those drivers just went down to a fourth spot, still needs to come to pit road. Nathan Alul came in on 97. Jonathan Parsons being passed by the 77 on the outside. Nathan Biggert right there in tow. Nathan does not need to push his car. I think Nathan just needs to drive the natural line, get himself in position to win, and he'll be able to pass Nathan Alul when he wants to. Because Nathan right now is not holding back.
Yeah, I'm seeing him pass all the lap cars. He went 3 wide just a corner ago, getting in the middle of 2 lap cars, trying to get around him. He's definitely sending the car, but I believe you're right. I agree with you. We saw Biggert come from the back, methodically start catching the 48. He's just got to do the same thing, and I think he'll get it.
Robert still leading, 9.6 back as Burke tries to catch as well. 7 seconds back from Jeremiah Burke is Nathan Alul, but he's got newer tires. Roughly about 19 lap fresher tires on the car as Jeremiah Burke works towards the entrance of maybe trying to lead a couple of laps here, depending on when Roberts comes in. Roberts, 61 laps on his tires right now. That is not 61 green flag laps. That is 61 laps, period. I think he's coming to pit road this time by. He is. 42. Oh, locks him up. He gets onto the grass. That's going to be a penalty. I know that one was a penalty. That's going to stink.
Oh, he murdered the cone on that one. That's definitely going to be a stop and go.
Man, Robert's trying to set himself up for a better run. He would have had 10 lap fresher tires than the field. 69 in pit road right behind him. So Robert's 4 in a row, biggest mover of the race. May not happen. Jeremiah Burke, 2.3 seconds the difference here. He came in on 78. We'll see. Actually, he has to serve the penalty. I think he was too fast entering. And he is getting a full penalty right now. He is on pit road serving that penalty. Man.
That's an interesting how iRacing gave it to that one. Usually it tags you on the way out, but yeah, he's sitting there. So I got to agree with you. He's serving it right now, it looks like.
And normally they tag you if it's too fast exiting, too fast on pit road or too fast exiting, they'll tag you on the way out. But too fast entering, they tag you and they make you serve it. That's a big deal. That's something that I've seen, at least in my iRacing soiree. Nathan Biggert, 2.1 back. Jeremiah Burke will still need to possibly come to pit road, because I don't think he's going to make it unless he saves Nathan Alul, pulling away from him. But Nathan Biggert, he's catching. I think he is just trying to make sure that he holds on to second. Mark Redkin came in on lap 90. He's being passed by Dudley in, I thought he was being passed by Dudley. He's being passed by Roberge, who now has to drive like a PO teenager to get one of his laps back and to pass Stryker to be able to get himself into that lucky dog position, barring a catastrophe here. 1 hour, 6 minutes into the race. We've had a couple of cautions. And folks, we need to take a hydrate break. This is where I don't want to click away, but we're going to throw it on exciting for you, and I'll be right back. Having an encoder preset issue. Let's take a look. Let's see. Still got the political. Mr. KP, how are you doing? They didn't see us. I'm checking back on chats here, folks. I appreciate everybody. Had to step away and grab something to drink. KPTV75, how are you doing, sir? I appreciate you. We got the symptoms good today, bad tomorrow. Boy, thank you. You make sure that you feel better there, Mr. Brock. Hopefully you do. That does really stink. Nathan Biggert closing in the distance here. Half second or 6/10 of a second, and he's trying to push the boundaries here. He's got some lap traffic in front of him. There's the 33 of Ed Perry in front of him. Jeremiah Burke coming to pit lane. Oh, 74 into pit lane as well. So the 74 to the 73 in together. Nathan Alul is going to have 31 laps to go. I think I'm hearing shifting. There's the 69. I think that's who's shifting there. Jason Day in 6th. Giving a lap 99, 2-lap fresher tires. Maybe trying to rebound here as well. Redkin inside the top 5, 4 seconds closing in. He came at a lap 90, so 10-lap, almost 9-lap fresher tires to Jason Day as we see drivers continue to work. Jeremiah Burke going to be leaving pit road this time by pits from 3rd. And now has 30 laps to make this work.
Lots of pit stops going on, different cycles, different strategies on the track. Just cleaning up the pit stop report. Cam got caught once again, this time unsafe pit entrance. He did hit the cone going in at the service stop and hold. I believe he said it was 40 seconds. Not happy, needless to say.
I would not think. Turn 4 is atrocious for Atlanta. I have... last time 33. Oh, that's a caution. There's no way that that's not a caution. I guess it's not a caution. They're still driving. Holy cow, I thought that would have been a caution there. I mean, good on the 33 for saving. That's Ed Perry right there. He saved his race. But Cam Dario coming off pit, off of that race line, man.
Just the tire difference there, as you mentioned earlier, it's so massive. Cam's just trying to get everything he can get now after the 2 penalties back-to-back on pit roads. Catching lap traffic at the wrong time. Just doesn't work out sometimes, but it looks like we're all okay here.
Nathan Biggert still trying to work the race line here. Half-second difference between he and Nathan Alul. And we're getting down to that 25 lap to go mark. 27 to go this time by. Kyle Gretsch in 3rd, 12 and a half back.
Biggert still has the 48 in his sights there, just being very patient, I believe, very gentle with the car as much as he can. I think he's going to have something for the 48 as the run goes late into the final laps.
There's Cam to the inside of the 48. Dario trying to get himself back around. Cam Dario did have to serve the penalty, so he's already still trying to move forward, trying to get every lap back that he can. And right now, dirty air being the reproachful thing. There's the 25 of Brad Dove to the inside. He's going to slide up in front of the 48, put some air on top of the nose of the 48s. Nathan Biggert closing in the distance to the bottom side. 0.3 of a second difference.
Looks like he's starting to push now, running the bottom line. Very stable, a little wiggle off the corner. Just getting ever so slightly closer now to the 48. He's just got him in his sights there. He looks like he's going for the attack now. Just a little bit, half the lane lower than the 48, getting the air on the nose. Good drive off the corner.
175 miles an hour on the back straightaway. Just able to drive the bottom so much better than Nathan Alul.
And that's going to be the key there. He can hit the bottom, get the power out, and keep the car pointed straight. I'm not sure how he's doing it, what's he doing, what changes he's made, if any. But it's amazing to watch. It's almost magical. We're seeing everybody else run the middle, run the top, and they're still free. But Biggert's running the traditional line, and he's making a lot of time up right now.
Some drivers to the inside and bigger back here. Admin Boxx brings you 25 laps to go. As the 48 now trying to work the bottom of the race line. There is sherylculver there in the sights as well. He tried 3 and 4 there. I don't think Nathan has the race on the bottom side, but he did try it. So we'll see if he goes to a 1-2 high line approach and a 3-4 low line approach. Right now, Striker going to the bottom side. He's going to have some new tires. Difference in speed and maneuverability here. Look at that, 178, 180 miles an hour into the corner. 145 into the corner right there. For Nathan Alul, just huge difference in speed. 0.3 of a second back now as the 19, as we see the 19 go back to work.
We saw Striker making the pass on the 48, and it either made the 48 tight or free. I'm assuming free. He moved up the track almost to the very high line, and it let the 19 close up a lot, but starting to see it settle out here. The 48 pulling away a bit again.
Trying to maintain. That's the big thing. 23 laps to go. Nathan Biggert, your biggest mover of the race, up 15. Kyle Gretsch up 13. Well, Bears usually has the title, but today a little different. He's trying to get around Jonathan Parsons, who's in front of him. This is for position. A top 10 night for Robert, still a good thing as the points start to settle in. Jason Day up in the groove as well. He's just made a pass on the 49. Day 2-lap pressure tires on the high side. Try to get himself back around. I do believe Dudley is right in the mix as well. He's got himself a little bit of race pace. He's behind. That's Mark Redkin. Sorry, there's Dudley right here. 51, making up some ground. Fast on the long run. Top 3 at night if you can get around Kyle Gretsch. He's got 3.5 seconds to do, but Kyle here with the 53 of Maj. Maj, first driver 1 lap down behind Burke, who is still trying to work his way back. I mean, he's got faster lap times. He's about 1.5 seconds faster than Nathan Alul, but he's 1.5 laps back.
That's a lot of ground to cover. I don't think he'll make it, or even if he does, he'll kill the tires by the time he gets there. He's definitely going to need a yellow, but I got to say a big congrats to all the drivers so far. We ran most of the race in green, and it's amazing.
Nathan Alul still trying to outstretch his hand to reach for the checkered flag as Nathan Biggert in the 19 giving us a good look at what it is to try to play catch up to Nathan Alul. Kyle Gretsch, top 3 night for him, would be a good night, but I do believe Jason Day has the race line. 19 laps to go, and he's about 1/2 second faster than everybody in front of him. And I mean, consistently running 34s. Nathan Alul did run 1/4 second slower, but everybody else 0.4 of a second or different. Kyle Gretsch, 34.24 last time by. So that's the only change that I saw. Nathan Biggert still 34.4, 0.6 of a second difference, and still trying to pull it. Man, oh man.
Looks like the 48 starting to pull on the 19 here. We'll see if the 19 can make a little bit of ground. He did get a couple tenths there off the corner.
I think the more that the 19 closes in, on the longer run, I think the more the car is starting to be upset. Last lap, 34.27, 34.29. Here's the lap times for your last 5 laps for the top 2. They're separated by mostly less than 1/10. The only time that Nathan Alul actually gained on Biggert in the 19 was lap 127, where he gained 1.3, and I think that had something to do with some lap traffic and the nose on the car getting tight.
I'm seeing Nathan pull away during 1 and 2 through the center off of 2, but Biggert will close in halfway down the backstretch through 3 and 4. So they're kind of beating each other back and forth on the racetrack, maintaining the same distance throughout the laps here, but they're winding down. We'll see if Biggert can throw something at him.
Biggert faster on 130, but not by much. He's going to need a lot of those to be about a 10th over the next 16 laps. This time by 34.303. Biggert just a touch faster again. But into turn 1, Nathan Alul gets a little bit more grip on the high side. And right now, Nathan Biggert has lap traffic behind him pulling the air off of him.
It looks like he...
Worst case scenario right here.
Seeing Burke make the pass on the high side, that's going to disrupt the 19. But he's going to catch the leader as well, so we'll see if it helps the 19 as well in the long run. But the laps are winding down now with 13 to go.
These lap cars need to get around him. If the 19 wants a shot, he's saying, go, get around me. Don't stay behind me. Move. You saw 0.2 of a second jump there. As soon as the 73 caught the back and the race line around the 19, the air just pulled him back. And right now, same thing happening to Nathan Alul.
We see him close up to the 19 here, but Biggert's got Caffrey looking on his outside. He's going to make the pass on the outside. Unable to, it looks like.
Caffrey with a right side damage, not able to get himself around. That's a disruption right there as well.
Caffrey taking a look again. He needs to get around Biggert here. If I was Biggert, I'd be yelling at him on the radar. Just make the pass, shoot around the outside, do something. But we've seen it all night. That car sitting on your bumper like that, even to the side, even a bit behind, it's going to disrupt you.
Right now, because the 19 cannot run that race line that he needs to run, Caffrey keeps closing back the distance. The only thing that Nathan can do is just continue to try to send it into the corner, but he's losing the time to the 48 that he needs. And Michael Caffrey pulling the 19 back to him on corner exit.
Like he's laying back away from the 19 now. We're about 0.5, about a second. We see a little go higher and higher. Looks to me each. Oh, I think someone was in the wall. Looks like everybody's okay.
And like Ed Perry, he might have come to pit road here. He did. Ed Perry. Well, we're 10 laps to go, and Nathan Biggert in a stalemate. Going to show 0.6 of a second here, and there is just no way the 19 just cannot get himself clear of the 77 behind him. And now he's free.
I got to say they're not aware or some kind of awareness that they didn't catch, or maybe they just can't say. But the cap or the 77 sitting on his bumper like that, it's just not helping.
Caffrey just there to ride. He's just trying to do what he can. He's sitting in 13th right now. He's only he's 3 laps down, so he would be looking for a free pass if something were to happen with 9 laps to go. But now Nathan Alul, if Nathan can get himself to the back bumper of the 19, it's going to pull them two together a little bit more, but it's not going to be as traditional as you would think. And right now he closes in just a little bit each and every lap, and then 48 able to dig just something out. When the 19 gets close to the 48, by that time the 77 is right there on his bumper. Right now the 77 is going to gain some momentum here as well. Going to pull the same thing. So the 19 has a game of a stalemate right now where he just cannot gain and cannot lose.
Like Caffrey's laying back a bit more. The 19, I'm starting to see him get a little bit closer now. I don't know if there's enough time. We got 6 to go. But they're side by side in front of the leader here, battling for their spot, I believe. Lowell's going to catch him, so we'll see if they can figure it out. Looks like they are. But he's going to catch that lap traffic. It should help the 19 close in.
Right now, Nathan Alul catching the draft of the drivers in front of him. So he's going to gain more speed getting into the corner. The 19 is going to run the bottom side. He was losing ground on the corner exit of turn 2. And right now, Nathan Alul in a tow zone. Lap traffic's only going to help him.
Definitely starting to pull away from the 19 there. That gap's getting a little bigger. They're side by side in front of him again.
Three cars stalemate in front of him. Nathan Biggert trying to close in. I mean, Nathan can see him. That's part of the big deal here is Nathan can see. This is what Nathan looks out in front of him. There's the 48 in front of him. Now, the closest he's been in about, 20 laps. But he sees the lap traffic in front of him. There's Redkin. He's going to be up near the wall. 48's going to be looking to try to make a pass here. 48. 19's got a better drive in here.
And the second they caught those 3 cars there, it let the 19 up bigger close right up to a little. So now he's on his bumper there. Let's see if he can sit there.
Oh, he's free.
Corner. Gonna lose some time here coming down into turn 1.
4 to the bottom side. 19 closing in that second spot. As the moment that he caught the wake, the moment the 76 was behind him, the moment that the 48 was there, he's been running bottom line all night. He went from 0.2 of a second to half second back, just like that. Four laps to go. It'll be 3 this time by. Nathan Alul trying to hold on for the 3rd win of the season.
Just that little slip up there. We mentioned it earlier in the race. When you get up close to a car like that, it's gonna free you up. So I don't believe Biggert was expecting it, trying to just get the power down again, and it got away from him.
Battle for 3rd heating up as well. Kyle Gretsch has a battle with Jason Day. Jason Day, 2 to go here. Day would love a great day in points. He got a stage win and had to battle back from that caution. They allowed him to get himself on a different cycle. Caution comes out, I think, 27 in front of the 51. Whoa.
Wow. Got loose off the high side. We're across the nose of the 51. 51 lets off a little bit just to give us the breathing room. Man, and he's looking on his inside again. Looks like he's going to get the nose to his door. Free off into the travel, not able to make the pass.
27 able to make it work. These drivers are more free than the top 2. 51, 2-lap pressure tires. 27 working the outside lane. 27's going to have a run down the back straightaway. Jason Day will have to slide up in. Final lap for Nathan Alul, Nathan Biggert. There'll be 1-2. Can Kyle Gretsch hold on with the final turns? Now they are about 16 seconds off the pace, so they're completing their final lap this time by. The battle for 3rd. Jason Day gets to the inside. Kyle's going to have to hold on to it. 51 tries to pull the inside. 27 up into the wall.
Just stays off the wall a little bit. He should get a run here coming off the corner, get the speed and stay next to the 51.
Jason Day drops in. 27 speed on the corner is going to be high on the race line here. 51 tries to dig back. Nathan Alul wins. Biggert's going to be second. Kyle Gretsch trying to hold on. He's got it. If he didn't get loose in front of the 51 had this all day. Kyle Gretsch will be 3rd. Nathan Alul gets his 3rd win of the season. And that'll be the way it works.
Big props to Gretsch there. He slid up the track, jerked the wheel, keep it off the wall, stood on the gas, got drive off the high side, and kept 3rd place. Great finish.
Gretsch will be 3rd. Nathan Alul will be your race winner today. And he'll cycle around. Here's your race results, folks. Maybe. There it is. Nathan Lowell, your race winner. Nathan Biggert, Kyle Gretsch, that'll be your top 3. Jason Day, Robert Dudley will be in 5th. Burke, Redkin, Modge, Roberts, Parsons, that'll be your top 10. Culver finishes in 15th. Salas finishes in 18th. And then down the rest of your race results. John Hammond having to call it quits early. Matty Z finishes in 19th. It's understandably frustrating. Nathan Alul starting to become Andrew Payne.
Run it down.
In the Cup Series, so see what becomes of this. Starting to find a driver that you're going to have to compete against and going to have to beat. Their dogs giving us, appreciate you giving us the like out there. It is the way it's going to be. This is how it is. Not much we can say otherwise. Nathan Lewis is going to be your race winner today. Congratulations on this. Real quick, go over maintaining your tires and maintaining the race pace there, because I think Nathan Biggert in the 19 behind you had your number if it weren't for some lap traffic.
Oh yeah, great run from him. It was a nice battle because it was like a game of cat and mouse. I knew I had to be smart, not burn my tires off, and get a good run in late race. So yeah, it was a great race. Thanks to all of these racers, man, because there was 2 cautions at most. It was impressive. Thanks, guys.
It was a good run. 3rd race win of the season. Anything for our race winner here, Joe?
Nathan, congrats on another win. You're absolutely killing it this season. Very methodical, very stable. I got to ask you about the lap traffic. Anytime. You see Biggert on your mirror there. He's about half a second behind you through the whole final 10 laps. Tell me about how getting through the lap traffic affects the lead win. How did you get around? What's your thought process?
Just look into my mirror every second. But yeah, it was difficult sometimes because it's so hard to stay behind the car in these conditions on this track. The car is so loose and the dirty air make it worse. But I think everyone did a great job not doing things dangerous in traffic or whatever. So it was actually I was serene about that.
Nathan, congratulations once again, man. And I'll tell you what, these mile and a half tracks, we're going to call you Andrew Payne Jr. here pretty soon. So you make sure that you save some pace. Save some pace for the end of the season, especially when it comes to the playoffs. My man, congratulations. Give your shout outs real quick.
Well, thanks to you, Signature Esports, Joseph, Jason. Thank you for the broadcast. Thanks to the Chop Chop crew. Thanks to all of you guys that are racing impressive today. And thanks to all the people that watching us, supporting us, because it's really important. And thanks to all of you. And I gotta thank my family, and I gotta thank my wife, as always. See you next week, guys.
And see, we've taught him to save the best for last, and he's been
always
doing it because it's really early in the morning where he is at, and she's sleeping. So
very, very fortunate.
All right, my man. Nathan, we'll see you next week, brother.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
That's the 48. He's from Paris. He is awesome. Talk to Nathan Biggert, who's going to be your P2 finisher today. You had some dirty air disrupt your late run speed, and that was the ultimate decider. So you'd get within 0.2, 0.3 of a second, and then all of a sudden the car would just tighten up, and you couldn't run the line that you needed to free you up, and then some lap traffic pulling the air off your nose, continuously pulling you back to them as you were trying to play catch up to Nathan. Walk me through this one, because that's what we saw.
Yeah, that's how it felt too. And for one, the first thing is Nathan Alul. Man, that guy is quick. We're chasing him down every week after week. He puts in the time, the practice, and I learn a lot from just watching him. I'm new to racing, new to the iRacing anyways, and it's enjoyable to be able to keep up with him. But yeah, the guys behind me were kind of affecting me a little bit, and towards the end there, the last few laps, he did come over the chat and tell me he was going to back off, and it was helping for sure. And yeah, the lap traffic definitely played a little bit of a factor in our racing. The long runs were fun tonight, and that's where I definitely excel.
That's something that we had noticed real quick. Bull Ram says he was rooting for you out there. I think he was rooting out there because I was kind of rooting for you too. Bull Ram says the 419 first race. I'm glad that you see it. It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh yeah, hit the thumbs up. Yes. So we've got across all three channels. We've got quite a few people watching. So just bear that in mind. Make sure you do hit the like, hit the follow, hit all that stuff out there. Nate, the old 19 getting some fans out there, but as these Cup cars progress, and of course you'll never run this that NASCAR would never run this configuration because of of course the repave at Old Atlanta. Which would you prefer? Do you still like the old Atlanta compared to the new Atlanta?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I excel with them long runs with a tire fall off where I can save, other guys don't, and it takes more throttle control, and you're actually driving the car. When it comes to like the new one where you're just holding it wide open, those guys can beat me all the time. But I love it when you actually have that, like in real race, and them guys wanted this configuration to stay, they just couldn't because you got to repave when you got to do it. But it provides such great racing and really puts the race into the driver's hands, as far as I feel.
I like the fact that they repaved it. I don't like the fact they changed the banking, and I don't like the fact they didn't leave a couple of the holes in the track that needed to be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Leave the weepers.
That's right. I mean, they still have to use them. They're still going to use them. This is Atlanta. Come on. This racetrack is still going to be. It's still going to soak up water. I mean, the thing was. I know that they put in some new diverts and stuff like that, but this track over time is still going to settle in where they're going to need to go out there and weep the track. But Joe, anything for Nathan here, real quick?
Nate, great finish. Good, valiant effort on the battle with the 48. We see you guys got through lap traffic. We saw them side by side in front of you guys a couple times. I asked the 48 also this question. What's your thought process getting around the lap traffic? Sometimes they're in the way. You couldn't really run your line. What are you thinking in those moments?
Yeah, absolutely. It's tough. And especially not only trying to pass them, I'm just being careful and slow. Like I'm a very, me and Nate also, I think we're cautious in our racing. We take our time. If it costs us a little time, whatever, it's worth the slowdown rather than risking getting into an incident. But what was costing me more actually sometimes was the guys coming up with fresh tires and passing, and they were really affecting, I'm watching my mirror too much to the point I'm not paying attention as good to trying to hit my marks and hit my lines. And then a lot of them want the bottom. And as you guys could see, that was the line I wanted to run. I preferred it down there. I'm a bottom feeder, and that was where I was getting better time.
Nathan, always a pleasure, man. Give you shout outs. P2 finish here today.
Yeah, I want to thank you guys doing the broadcast. I enjoy watching it every week. You do a great job, phenomenal. And I just want to thank the league, my three sons for sponsoring it. The guys that run it, they put in some effort and work into this, and it doesn't go unappreciated for sure. And then also, like, it's awesome to hear that I actually have fans. That would be my first ones. So I love y'all out there. Appreciate it. And hopefully we can keep this going throughout the rest of the year and make a deep run into the playoffs and try to get this championship sewed up. That'd be awesome. And also, I just want to say thanks to my mom, and I love you.
You know, that's the first driver that has actually mentioned the championship, so I think you won it. I mean, that's you want this to happen. That's pretty cool. I like it. Nate, congratulations. We'll see you in the rest of your races this week.
All right, thank you guys.
That's him. The 19 comes home P2. Matterud, folks, Matterud Racing. Go give him a follow. He's an awesome dude. Gets out there and streams. He does a whole bunch of stuff. We love him. We appreciate him. Thank you for the shares. You're never late. You're always on time. It doesn't matter. You can never tell me that you're gonna be late, brother. Kyle Gretsch is gonna be the man, the myth, the legend, pulling the old Waltrip paint scheme out, kicking butt and taking names. Finished P3. You and Jason Day had a battle there at the end. We actually watched that all the way to the end there, the last couple of laps that you guys had going on. A little free off turn 2. I thought Dave was going to get you there. Then, next thing we know, you guys have this monstrous battle for the next couple of laps. And you had been battling probably before that, but walk me through this one. That was an interesting P3 finish, and glad to see you hold on for it.
God, I'm so sweaty. Yeah, he was just really, really good. Kind of classic Atlanta thing. You'd pass him. You wouldn't think about him for a while. You disappear a little bit on your relative, and then all of a sudden he's kind of roping you back in. Yeah, I've never finished in the lead lap here out of my 4 starts. So I really wanted to do that. And then I was like, well, I'm in 3rd place. I want to keep that 3rd place. So I made sure I put my best foot forward there at the end to try to keep him behind me. But yeah, a tire wear. It was getting really bad where I was trying to find the best way to not get loose mid-corner. And then I found kind of overdriving the middle, kind of straightening it out, and having the car loaded up mid-corner helped me get that exit, which is what I think really helped me stay away ahead of Day. I forget his first name. What's his first name? Jason.
Yep. It should be easy to remember.
Jason Dover.
Jason Day drove in the very first race I ever broadcasted as well. So, ton of talent behind what he is, and he's an awesome guy. I would show a lot of props to that. So to see you guys race, and he would have given it to you, you'd have given it to him. I think that was, I think the great thing about that. But watching as he slid up behind you, which kind of freed you up. Did you notice that the car was stepping out a little bit more with cars behind you, especially on older tires? After about 15, 18 laps, a car behind you was probably more detrimental than a car beside you.
I don't necessarily know. I was probably just, especially that exit of the corner, you're just so focused on getting a good exit that, I mean, if the car was super close behind me or was 3/10 behind me, I probably wouldn't have noticed because I was just so focused on trying not to have the cars spin out on me. But I mean, if that possibly was part of the reason why I was getting so loose there at the end.
That's we had noticed throughout the race line, the closer a car got to another car, the more free it would get, and you could just watch the car starting to step out, and then it was like a game of dominoes on what was going to happen there. But Grahalva, go ahead.
Great to talk to you again. Good finish, good resilience as well, battling against Jason Day. So I noticed, me and Jason noticed throughout the race, the cars, everybody started moving up the track, middle, top lane. We saw you run about the top lane towards the end there. Was the car much more comfortable? Was it more stable at the top side?
Yeah, so one of the big things is it just would stay loaded. You could get that car just kind of set and pointed coming off the corner. And there was a specific way that you could have the car set on that high line to where probably about the final 2/3 mark in the corner, you could almost straight line and full throttle it on old tires, but you'd had to be absolutely perfect to get that to work. Anytime I did get that to work, I was gapping Day by probably about like 1/10.5, maybe 2/10 anytime I'd hit it, but it would be so finicky to get to that it was just kind of unreliable to persistently hit it.
Well, Kyle, as always, good to see you. Hey, you know what? 2 races in a row, I'll get you in the top 3. It's still cool. I wasn't rooting against you today, though. I actually wanted you to finish this
Thank
race. You. After your luck, a couple of the last couple of weeks, I've been wanting to see you up here and have a good finish, especially with this next gen car, because I know that's where your talent kind of presents you is to figure out these cars with more than 4 gears and do what you need to do, my man. Kyle, always a pleasure, man. Give you shout outs, P3 finish, and a great day. Just a great day for you.
Yeah, I'm streaming every race I'm running now. I'm not going to be here next week. I'm going to watch the truck race. Always prioritize watching real life stuff. But unfortunately, I am not going to be running the truck stuff anymore. So I was a one and done, come to find out. But yeah, if you want to watch me stream some races, I'm going to hopefully be doing next gen 87s and US open wheel cars. So
I like it. Kyle, where can they find you? I know it's on the thing, and this is the last time I'm going to have it show up there on the SDK, just so you know, because I wanted to make sure to do it, but they can find you on YouTube. I'm going to override that and put in the Chop Shop Racing League in there, just so you know.
I forgot that I even had that on there.
Yeah, that's okay. I like the wall trip.
On YouTube.
Yeah, I like the wall trip photo. Keep that. That's all cool. I like that.
Yeah, I changed it. I needed to just have it something a little bit more professional, but not too professional.
Yeah, no, that's he does like visiting the infield bar centers. No, I like Waltrip. I think he's the class act, and I hope to see more of him on the racetrack again to do his driver interviews. They're so much fun. It's just what it is. You know what I mean? Kyle, much love, man. I'm gonna mute you guys. Stick around for a second. Folks, Nathan is going to be your race winner, Nathan Alul. So 2 Nathans on top. Kyle Gretsch finishes 3rd. Top 3 night is still a good night. And Jason Dave, close second there. What a run he had after having some issues early in the race and having a rebound. I think a caution comes out. We have a different kind of flip of the story here, but the script worked out. It came out really nicely. Thank you to VIP Tires and Service. Thank you to HelloFresh. Thank you to NordVPN. Check out the links in the description for that. Also, thank you to Dark Horizon Fishing for sponsoring all the cautions for me. Big special thank you to the Chop Shop Racing Series. And, of course, and always, the My Three Sons Antique. Sherry, you're just awesome. You're just literally the most awesomest person ever. I said that as unprofessionally as possible. Again, My Three Sons at Tacoma, Washington. If you put it in the chats for you, it's going to be here, especially when you rewatch. It's still going to be there. Make sure you go check her out and make sure you check out my3-sons.com. Big special thank you to Admin Boxx and, of course, AMR for out there running the race control. The Track Racer link is still in the description on Facebook and YouTube, so make sure you check them out for the Chop Shop iRacing series. Go to chopshopiRacing.com, and of course, if you want to hook up with what these guys are doing. If you do not have an iRacing subscription, I highly encourage you to go to iRacing.com and check out what they have today. Folks, be good, be safe, be kind, one another. Because you're not my friend. And of course, and always, I will see you in my next one. Peace.